friends. Hope all of you are doing great, enjoying wonderful weather outside in spite of this pathetic pandemic. This is Anu Sharma from IIFFB 2020, Indian International Film Festival of Boston. Thanks for your constant love and support. I really truly appreciate. Just like every other year, I'm excited and thrilled to host this beautiful event and festival. I will be interviewing our wonderful judges who worked audaciously day and night, went through hundreds of movies to make final selection. This year, we got submission of 100 movies for screening, out of which 13 were nominated. 3 feature films, 3 short movies, 3 documentary, 2 on social cause, 1 LGBT, and 1 song. Friends, let's join me together in welcoming our esteemed judges. Rohit M. Chandra, he is a psychiatrist and theatre artist too. Surja Manan Roy Chaudhary, she practices Chinese medicine and an award winning poet. Meera Siddharth worked several years in finance companies and helped her husband too in building his business. She also wrote an article. She also wrote an article like launching a successful business without a business degree. So Rohit, how are you doing today?
Very well, thank you, Anu. Glad to be on.
So Rohit, how tough it was to take the final decision?
It was quite tough this year, Anu. This is my second year as a judge. And this year, again, as you said, we had 100 films to choose from. We watched 36 of them, and we ended up nominating 13. The cinematography in these films was excellent. The acting was often quite superb. The plot, plots were quite riveting. So these were really tough decisions. We had some feature films to watch, some short films, some documentaries, a comedy, a song, lots of a few social cause films. So it was challenging to watch them and then kind of sort them into the proper categories and give the proper awards. But the judges are a tight-knit group. We really have, I think, strong camaraderie, strong chemistry. We met last year and really have gotten close in this past year or so. So it really was a labor of love in the end to do this work with my fellow judges, Meera, Dee, and Surja.
Wonderful, thank you. Next question is for Surja. Surja, do you think because of the pandemic this year, it affects the submission of movies?
Thanks for having me here, Anu, and thank you for your very insightful question, actually, which is very meaningful in today's time. I think it has. I have a feeling that, last year we had so many submissions and the film festival was a huge success and it inspired a lot of people to submit film. But I think because of the pandemic, probably people couldn't get together to create newer films, especially newer short films. I have a feeling that, we would have gotten a lot more submissions had the pandemic not happened because our submission date was extended up until the end of June and then almost up to July, I think. So, yeah, I think we lost out on a bunch of potentially good movies and things that would have dealt with the pandemic situation itself. But probably, hopefully, we'll get more submissions of that nature next year where we'll be able to look back and see how this affected our lives, on such a global scale. Something like this hasn't happened in centuries, I think. So, yeah.
I'm sure, yeah. Meera ji, how has been your journey as a judge in IIFFB?
Thank you, Anu. IIFFB, I was in touch 3 years ago, and I had asked Razia that, please use me the following years because probably I can be of some help. My childhood, was very much into movies, watching movies, because my uncle owned many theaters in northern India. So I had insight and I have a very critical eye. So I thought I could offer something to this festival. And joining it since last year was very uplifting because that's my passion. And to watch the documentaries and the making of these directors at a smaller platform gives me an insight that these producer, director, actors have a great future. And this is what we predict and watch and judge as to what they will be in coming years. So this is a good platform for the upcoming directors, producers, and artists. Thank you.
So, yeah. Rohit, where do you see IIFFB few years from now?
That's a great question, Anu. So I think I've pointed out that relationships seem to be at the heart of IIFFB, the relationships between judges in this case, and then you and I. We are in the same acting troupe. You played a Hijra beautifully in the recent play, Seven Steps Around the Fire. So, these kinds of connections, are, I think, the lifeblood of IIFFB. Razia Ji is the co-founder, and Razia Ji has built strong connections with directors around the world. And these connections are only likely to grow. She cultivates relationships and is very respected, I think, in the film industry in Bollywood amongst those who know her. And I think her name and IIFFB's name will continue to spread in a good way, unlike this pandemic. And we are, very likely to, build strong relationships with directors and get even better movies as time goes on. And I really look forward to that. I also look forward to the in-person experience of meeting in future years, as we are missing that this year. That's another opportunity to build relationships in person.
So true, that is. We are really missing that in-person meetings. Yeah. So, Surja, I believe this is your third year as a judge. So, how has been your journey in IIFFB as a judge?
It's been wonderful. It's a very unique experience, and I think it's something that very few people even think about being able to access, let alone experience. So I've been really fortunate to have been a friend of Razia's and associated with the film festival for the last 3 years. The first year, we had our growing pains, we had a few selection of movies. The second year, we had huge selection of movies, and then I also got together with our the other two judges here, Rohit and Meera, and we built a great relationship. And as we've evolved, as the festival has continued to evolve, I think we have continued to evolve as judges as well. We've begun to understand the nuances of what to look for in a good film. We've begun to understand, what's a good director, what's the role of a producer, many things that we hadn't really grasped at the beginning. And also being able to appreciate different aspects of a movie. So say a movie has wonderful cinematography, but the storyline isn't very strong, or the storyline is really great, but somebody isn't acting very well. So I think those kind of things that you sort of, finer details that you expect from a judge, I think we've been able to hone in our skills. And I'm sure, Razia still has us back next year. We're continuing to hopefully continue to do that. And it's a very enjoyable experience. I mean, the breadth creativity, it's mind-boggling. And I think this year we had 11 countries submissions